Yeah.
But you got to get the...
But it's like exaggerated. It's like way down on the...
Oh, he's serious.
Oh,
he's serious.
Oh, he's good. Yeah. Oh, shit. He's about to find out he had the power within him the whole time.
Unless it's an Oron High School host club where it's just a gesture and it means nothing.
When it's just hot, it's
hot.
It's just hot.
And that's when you do it. Thank you for listening to episode 10 of the Cross Platform Media Podcast. I'm your host, Yocom, and joined with my awesome co-host, Courtney.
Hello.
And Jordan Danger.
Hello.
Awesome. How was your week, guys?
It was good. And then also, meh. Like, meh. Like, I got a bit sick, so I was off for 4 days. I was like, okay, well, that was like, that's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But I got 4 days off from work, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't remember what brought it up, but I was talking to Jordan. I was like, hey, we should start playing Minecraft again. Because our group of friends, all playing Minecraft, and we all had our own server and stuff. And he's like, down. And so he messaged to the group, and they're like, get on right now. Like, all of them were like hopping on.
For context, they hadn't been playing.
Right.
Like, we go into phases where, like, for, 2 months, we'll all play at the same time.
Okay.
And I just told them, hey, y'all down to play Minecraft soon? Like, everyone, 8 people were like, all right, we're doing this for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
like, for 4 days straight, like, we're just playing Minecraft.
That's amazing.
We started a new realm and just started going ham. We took a while looking for, like, the perfect place.
Well, awesome.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Jordan, how was your week, bud?
It's been okay.
Okay.
I started a new collection.
Oh, boy.
As always, I have to be spending my money on something.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's actually a thing I wish they did here.
Okay.
But in Japan, every movie theater, or every movie that comes out into,
The
theaters, you can buy a program at the theater. It's it can be up to 50 pages, and it's just like a book. It's
of the movie.
Yeah, or it's like a book. It's it's a program.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like a plays program, right? It's all the info on the cast and crew, and then photos and stuff as well. So I've been importing a bunch of those. I got some pretty fun ones.
Nice.
Jaws. I got the original Star Wars. I'll put a bunch of pictures up right now.
Yeah. Dude, that's so cool. I mean, you can't read them, but...
No, but they're cool pieces of art.
All the pictures are cool.
Throw on the wall. That's it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
If you don't have a picture of the Tremors poster with Japanese writing on it...
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Tremors is?
No. I mean, I experienced some tremors with my anxiety a couple weeks ago, but I don't think that's...
Fair enough. No. Keep it simple. Giant sandworms in the desert.
Oh, okay. Kind of like the things from Dune?
Yeah, but smaller.
But smaller.
And with Kevin Bacon.
Oh. Okay.
Right?
That's awesome.
Right?
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a pretty good week collecting new stuff. You always got to be spending your money on something.
Always.
I mean, that's how I feel as well. Like, I always got to be spending my money on something. Can never just save it, you know?
Never.
I just got to buy all this stuff that adds no value to my life.
Hell no.
You know, it's like, sure, I've already got Tetris for the NES, but now I have it in box. I think I have 3 different original Tetris. So I have 2 for the NES, and then the one that came out with the original Game Boy as well.
I like to imagine that when we die, we'll be buried with our treasures, like
the Egyptian
pharaohs. Anything valuable. Yeah, he's got his whole collection of vinyls down there.
Right? You know, I remember hearing a story. I forgot what celebrity. I think it was a celebrity. They were buried in their car.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't remember who it was, though.
Okay, Jordan will figure it out in post-production.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, and I'll say my week's been interesting. It's been kind of like a roller coaster, you know. Just had a lot going on, mental health-wise, getting that in order. But, you know, a lot of good has stemmed from all of those struggles. Mm-hmm. You know, I radically changed my diet. So now I'm not really eating fast food. I'm cooking, nice. I'm keeping it simple to just simple protein like chicken breast or steak, and then whatever vegetable of the day.
Okay.
I supplement with a lot of like protein shakes in the morning, because something I have to learn to get through is my anxiety's been making my stomach all funky during the day. So I'll drink like a protein shake, and then eat some fruit as well, because that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Usually around the evening time, then I'm able to like actually have a standard meal. And I've also been going to the gym. For the last couple of weeks, it's been about 2.5 weeks, and I've been going almost every day, just to keep everything like healthy.
Good.
And going to the gym has also been really good, because not only just the workout, but I finally learned and understood what it meant when people would say, like, I took my traumas in life and used that to fuel my workout. I took my anger and used it. Like, I never really understood like what that meant. And after going through everything I've gone through recently, when I'm working out, I learned what that means to definitely take all of that. So, yeah, it's been a roller coaster, but a good one, and we're going up now.
Good.
So yeah, that's been pretty good. So definitely work out more. Work out, you nerds.
Yeah. I haven't worked out in
like that panel
ever.
at Anime Expo, where it's all just about diet and
yeah,
exercise.
That's rough.
That's just don't have just Doritos and Mountain Dew. Awesome. Well, so moving on, just 2 quick things for the notable news of the week. We did get report that the creators for Avatar: The Last Airbender, they are working on 3 animated films. We don't know like if it's going to continue with like Aang in them in one film, or if it's going to be past Korra, Legend of Korra, in another, what have you. So we're not entirely sure what that's going to entail, but it is the original creators. Like after, the whole thing with the Netflix thing that was announced like 4 years ago, apparently it's still coming out. They released some cast list, but I don't know if I'm really going to like hold out hope for that one. So yeah, we're getting that. We don't know when it's coming, what have you, but we are getting some of that info. As well as of recording this, yesterday on the 22nd, the Umbrella Academy came out with season 3. And yes, I think that that deserves a golf clap. So with that being said, I discovered that yesterday morning. I was supposed to go to the laundromat and do some cleaning and go to the gym and run some errands. I only went to the gym. Let's see, as of today, because I watched a little bit before recording, I'm like halfway through episode 9 out of 10. So like, yeah, I binged it yesterday, and I will say, we can talk about it at the next podcast after you guys watch it. Okay. I do have some gripes. I feel like they tainted 1 or 2 of the characters.
Okay.
In just the way that they made their just their whole story arc. Okay. Like, I get the reasoning behind it, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like you could have handled that in a more elegant way.
I get you.
So yeah, we'll definitely save that for the next podcast after you guys watch it. Cool. Then we'll just like crap on it. Yeah. Like in typical Jordan fashion.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Speaking of.
So the topic of the week, we're going to be talking about the movie Willy's Wonderland. I have been wanting to talk about this film for so long. Context, I love the film. I think it is wonderfully terrible, and terribly wonderful. So for those of you that haven't seen the movie, it stars no other than the legend, the absolute legend that is Nicolas Cage. So he just swiped through the story. He's driving, ends up hitting a spike strip in the middle of this road, gets picked up by a tow truck, and is taken, to the shop and everything. And the mechanic is like, it costs you this much. He hands him a card and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't got no internet out here.
Hickville, USA.
It is cash only.
Cash only.
And he doesn't have a cigar in his mouth. He has a meat stick.
It's
those Slim Jims.
It's like a thick Slim Jim.
Yeah. So he's just like, unless
I've known
you want to work a little bit for it.
Unless you want to, yeah.
So he gets signed up for the job to spend the night cleaning up at Willy's Wonderland, which is pizzeria. Think like Chuck E. Cheese, with all the animatronics. And he spends the night cleaning up the place, getting it ready to reopen. And then the animatronics come to life and try to kill him. So, this movie, I looked up the budget versus the box office.
Okay.
So, it's really unfortunate because it was supposed to come out in theaters. But COVID hit. It wasn't meant to be a Hulu movie. It was meant to be in the theaters, but then COVID.
That's so unfortunate that they considered putting it in theaters.
No, I think it needed to be in theaters.
No.
Yes.
That wouldn't have saved it.
I think so.
No, dude.
Yeah, it would have been sensationalized, and it would have established more of a cult following. It would have
been the Morbius of then.
No, I think it would be more like The Room, where people would see it in the theater, and it would be known as such a terrible film that people would end up making games.
I don't think that this movie was significant enough to warrant that kind of following.
I don't know, because everybody was picturing it to be like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
the movie.
Of course.
But it wasn't.
Okay, yeah, I don't think it was interesting enough to okay, the Room, every scene there's something to talk about.
Like the picture of spoons?
Oh, hi, doggy.
Hi, doggy.
There's something to talk about in every scene.
In front of the television.
Yeah, there's always something to talk about. But with this movie, we're going to get through it in the next 45 minutes. And we're going to be done.
I love it. So,
anyway.
Okay. So the movie opens up where you have this couple and they're running through...
Yeah. Cold open.
Yeah, the cold open.
Cold open.
It opens up with them running through the halls and something is chasing after them. We don't quite see what.
Of course not.
But then those people die.
Mm-hmm.
And we then see a little girl. So, were you guys expecting that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Oh, okay. You were expecting that? Okay, I wasn't. I was not expecting that little girl to be the main girl, in that group.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Yes, so probably should throw that out there as well. And we're going to save the very end of this podcast for a separate episode, kind of like we did with As the Gods Will. Just so that way you can get through probably about 70% of the movie. And then we'll throw the last bit out there in the spoiler cast. And that's what we're going to call it from now on. So, cross spoilers media platform. So, just Courtney presents it. So, all right. So, we have it written in this order, but there's two elephants in the room, and it's Nicolas Cage's whole shtick in the movie, but then also the terrible acting of the friends.
Yeah.
Those kids. So, let's tackle the terrible, just absolutely terrible acting.
All right.
From the group of friends.
All right. We have to establish something.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be so much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So was I.
So I think, okay, for context... We need to explain more of the story first.
Okay.
How do we explain it?
Yeah, so while Nicolas Cage is signed up to do the cleaning and everything.
Yes.
You have this group of young adults. One girl, the main girl, is later discovered, I think this is still within the first 70% of the film, to be the adopted daughter of the sheriff.
Yes.
Right? So her and her friends, guided by her, because, that's where her parents died, they want to burn down Willy's Wonderland, but they're always stopped by the sheriff.
Yeah.
So as Nicolas Cage is cleaning, they discover that he's in there. And so she's like, we can't just leave him in there. But the friends are like, you have that one dude that's like overly like gangster about it. He's like, no, man, just leave him in there. If he wants to die with those things, just let him. And she's like, no, we can't do that. And that was a perfect representation of her voice.
Of course, yeah, both of their voices. That was 100%.
Right. So
you're good at this. You're great.
So the kids go in to the building. Oh, they crash through. They make a crash landing.
They go up under the roof and then just fall in.
Exactly.
They fall into a ball pit.
Yeah.
Paul Blart Mall Cop style.
I am so surprised how much that movie gets referenced in my adult life.
It's insane.
Like that exact phrase.
It's ridiculous.
Too. Mall Cop Paul Blart style. So I think that's enough to kind of.
Yeah. Okay. So let's back up a bit.
Okay.
Because so when we meet the main girl.
Yeah.
She's trying to burn down the building.
Yes.
That's her intro. That's her scene.
Yeah.
She gets stopped, arrested, brought to the sheriff's house, which is her house.
Yeah.
And literally chained up.
Yeah. Handcuffs her to the radiator.
Handcuffed to the radiator.
With a bucket. What if I have to go to the bathroom? Here's a bucket.
Yeah, that's literally your house. She's going to be pissing all over the floor in, but cool. Okay. Her friends show up and they're like, all right, let's go. We're going to break you out. And they, first of all, do one thing that I absolutely hate in movies because it's an overdone joke, and it wasn't even funny the first time they did it, where they're trying to kick in the door and break it down, and then one of the friends goes, no, buddy, and then turns the handle, and
pulls it.
It was open. F***ing hacks. You're a f***ing hack. Follow up, all right? They all walk in, they're like, oh shit, she's handcuffed. Well, oh well. And then random hot girl comes out of the back and picks the lock.
Yeah, with a hairpin.
That's rad. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, so this is like, they're setting up that they all have their own skills. Yeah. Later, the party, they'll all like contribute to getting out of the situation alive.
And none of them contributed anything.
None of that happens. They all die without putting up a fight.
Great writing. Courtney, do you have anything you want to throw in so far about how terrible this was? I think we're still within the first 15 minutes.
This is before yeah, exactly.
Honestly, that one hot chick I had so much hope for. I was like, damn, okay, she's actually smart. She's not gonna be dumb.
I actually want to leave, and I thought y'all might want to also, but I don't care.
Fine, I'll go.
No, I'll go.
Nope, she was just the dumb hot chick.
Yeah, she was. I was like...
I thought this movie was going to transcend typical horror movies, but no, it fell right in line.
Yeah. And later on, I'll get into the one trope that I was not expecting, but also not surprised about.
Okay.
But we'll get on that later on. You probably already do. So let's talk about just... This has got to be these kids' first acting gig.
So I've done some research.
Okay.
They've all done 2 or 3 minor roles.
Oh, okay.
They've all done other B movies.
Yeah.
I think.
Not to be confused with
No, not to be confused with
B movie.
Jerry Seinfeld's B movie, which is a classic. But yeah, so they're inexperienced. I don't blame them for this happening to them, which is what happened. They were offered a check, and then,
they were victims
they had to
writing.
Do it. They were offered to work alongside Nicolas Cage. Would legend. You not take that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then they got that script. So, okay, these 3 words play over in my head.
Okay.
Because as they're breaking her out of the trailer, she's like, all right, let's go burn it down. And they're overly enthusiastic about just watching a building burn because they're doing hood rat shit because there's nothing else to do in this hick town. And the hot girl character goes, burn, baby, burn. And it's somehow simultaneously insincere, bored, and then top it off with like a thin layer of pretend enthusiasm.
You're gonna have to show that up.
Oh, there will be diagrams. There will be visual aids.
Yeah, burn, baby, burn.
But like, I think about her saying those words. I shit you not. Twice a day.
No, you
Two
do.
times a
No,
day.
you do
Twice a day.
not. Oh man.
Burn,
Okay.
baby, burn. Continue.
So, I mean, at that part in the film, that's when they see Nicolas Cage in there. So
Yes.
let's backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
So Nicolas Cage is cleaning. He's got a mop,
Mm-hmm.
and he is mopping, and then turns around, and the ostrich animatronic, the robot,
Mm-hmm.
is standing right there. And he's like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." And he hits it with the mop. Like, why? But then, it's all just like straight faced looking at him, and then it turns angry and like tries to get him. And the way that fight happened was so fantastic. The way he just snapped that broomstick over his knee and just like,
He was ready for it.
Dude, he's a lunatic in this film.
Yeah, no.
And there's no backstory
His
to it.
character is a psychopath, for sure. Yeah.
And there's no backstory to it. Like,
Not
there's
at all.
no
No.
explanation of
Nothing.
where he comes from or anything like that. Just crazy. And as he takes down the ostrich, he rips out its animatronic throat.
Mhm. I did put in my notes how bad the writing was there, too.
Okay.
But there was only one thing I disliked about it. And it was the ostrich initiating the fight, saying, "I'll devour your soul."
Oh, that's right.
I think that's pretty hacky writing, too. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Everything
That's
is
so weird. Like,
the writing was just...
when people... with the reveal we find out later, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, no human would say that.
No.
Okay.
No, only something non-human.
Only an ostrich.
Courtney, what did you think of the ostrich scene?
Well, when I first started watching, I was not expecting all of that. And I was like, oh, that's how this is gonna go. I was like...
It definitely sets the tone of the film.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yep. And when you think about it, it's an incredibly gory film,
Yeah.
but it's all
oil.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why do those robots have so much oil? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
like he's constantly... Oh, one thing I love is how at the end of every fight, he cleans up, takes off the shirt, and puts on a clean
he
one.
puts on a new Willy's Wonderland shirt.
I love it.
Goes on this break, and he's like, all right.
Oh, the breaks where it's
Yeah.
all the pinball, and he's
Okay.
like drinking that energy drink.
All right,
Like,
time for another sidetrack, because Jordan sidetracks. He takes a break. First of all, he takes like 9 breaks in this movie, and because as he's walking in, one of the Doug Dimmadome owner of this restaurant goes, "Don't forget to take your breaks."
right.
So he sets a timer, and every time this timer goes off, he goes and takes a break.
Yep.
And on his break, he does 2 things. One of 2 things. Drinks one of his sodas, which we never get an answer on.
Yep.
Context. He's got 2 cases of 48 cans of a nondescript energy drink in
Doesn't
his
have that
truck.
much.
It's a lot. It's a case.
He's got like
it's a
a
case.
dozen.
It's a case.
Because he carries all in that
Okay, yeah,
pillowcase.
no, it's a case in his trunk, but he brought a few into the
Oh, okay,
restaurant.
yeah, that's what you... Okay, yeah.
So he either drinks this energy drink, or he spends his time fixing up and or playing a pinball machine that he found.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's the movie right there.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the... Yeah, so... Now... After the ostrich, I think is probably the second greatest fight in that movie, and that's when he's in the bathroom with the gorilla.
I'm gonna pause you right there. As soon as he went into the bathroom and started cleaning, I was like, something's gonna. I was like, he's gonna finish. I told Jordan, I was like, he's gonna finish this bathroom. And it's gonna look all nice and clean. And then something's going to take place in this bathroom. And then he's going to have to clean it all over again.
And that's exactly what happened.
Because, boom, stall door kicked open. Gorilla greetings, he says.
The writing is so great.
Even for like a hokey movie, that's bad.
Yeah. But yeah, he kicks open the stall and then when he turns around, gorilla greeting.
Gorilla greeting.
And so he's fighting this gorilla. I think the one of the greatest points in that fight is when he grabs the plunger. And like this gorilla is, I mean, incredibly strong.
Yeah.
It's like throwing him.
It's a robot.
But the plunger on his face,
that's enough.
That's what takes him down.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was enough force. Like his arm stopped working at that point, and he takes down the gorilla with the plunger, beats him, and then he curb stomps him into the urinal. That was really loud. Sorry for that editing. So, but then like breaks the urinal too.
Yeah.
Now, at what point, it didn't show on camera, he had to turn the water off the entire building to do that.
Yeah.
But yet he was still washing his hands and everything after fight. So there's that wonderful movie continuity. What do they call that? The displacement of, or something of disbelief?
Oh, suspension of disbelief.
There you go. That's right.
That's a weird thing to break your suspension of disbelief in this movie. But okay.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. So at this point, after the gorilla, that's when, I feel like I've already said this like 3 times in the podcast. That's when the kids notice him. So they get in there and they try to find him and everything. And so you've got the kids in the main like pizza area with, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 7 animatronics, and one of the kids is like, "Hey, wasn't there 7 of these when there's only 5 up on stage?" And they immediately knew, like, "Oh, he's crazy.
Shit. Yeah,
he's crazy." Because that's when the knight comes alive and is trying to kill the kids. The knight does get one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
he stabs them.
The knight, yeah,
and then, you know, it's funny. I can put a character trait to every single one of the friends except for the one that the knight killed.
Yeah.
I think he was the most, like, just not... I mean, they didn't really need to flesh anything out. So
no.
Like, you're going to die in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, that's when... And then Nicolas Cage shows up and kills the knight, decapitates him. And everybody's like, "We got to get you out of here." And he looks at him and says nothing. Because Nicolas Cage doesn't say a single word in this entire movie. At some points, it's, like, kind of cool and edgy. But then at other points, it's like they straight up ask him a question and he just looks at him.
Yeah.
That's another thing. The camera angles and the zoom ins in some parts, like on the face. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, the editing is...
Not only was it poorly written, edited, and lit, it was also horribly directed at the same time.
Yes.
Things
so
like quadruple threat.
I was expecting... So, like, I had heard that was kind of the angle with this movie. But when I was watching the movie, I forgot about that. And so throughout the entire film, I'm like, he's got to have like that tropey, like one
word at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
And so far in the movie, it's just grunts and shouts during the fights. So, I mean, you can... Technically, that's considered dialogue. But it's not words. I mean, the subtitles sometimes said "arg."
Nice. We'll count that.
There you go. So, yeah. So that's when it goes back to the sheriff's station.
Yes.
And she has called backup.
Yes.
And you got this young, naive sheriff that's like kind of figuring like, why does she need... Like, why are they calling for backup for... just to watch the phone.
Yeah, that's the conceit of the scene. Is there 2 people? They're like sitting at the desk, and she tells him, "All right, we're gonna sit here and wait for the phone to ring."
Yep,
or hope it doesn't ring.
That's right. Hope it doesn't ring.
And that was it. That's all she gave him, and that's all the movie gave us.
Yep. Well, and then the phone rings. Then the phone rings. Like 3 seconds later.
Yeah.
And she doesn't answer it, and it goes to like that voicemail, and it's like. The girl like shouting, And so she grabs the phone, answers like, "What are you kids doing?" And then that's when it's like, "Yeah, we're in here now." She's like, "Oh, these damn crazy kids. Let's go."
Okay,
Well, no,
hold
no,
on,
no,
hold
wait,
on, hold
wait,
on, hold on,
wait,
hold on,
wait,
hold on,
wait,
wait.
wait.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say she hangs up, and then they call again.
That's right.
She initially leaves the kids for dead
Mm-hmm.
until one of them tells her that her daughter is in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, "All right, f- it, we gotta go."
Oh, that's right. It was the kid that was in the like spaceship with the chameleon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that called. That's right.
None of these words make any sense to anyone who hasn't seen the movie.
It will make sense in just a second here.
I don't think you will.
So we're back at the pizzeria after the sheriff's been called. And actually, no, we have to give the backstory first.
Yes.
So the sheriff tells the young deputy, get your gun. We're going to this pizzeria. And so on the drive there, he's like, what's the big deal over this, place? Like, there's just a couple of kids. This is low-level crime.
Mm-hmm.
And she explains to him the wonderfully written, wonderfully Oscar nominee deserving, well-written backstory. So Willy's Wonderland was started by a group of psychopaths. And they were all like criminals in some
pedophiles,
way.
murderers.
Yeah, exactly. And so the cops were called because they were killing people.
Yeah, they were killing people.
Yeah.
As humans, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, because once they went into like that special party room, it's where they would kill people. So the cops were called. They stormed the pizzeria, and this group of 7 guys, and none of them, no women. It was just guys. And
there was one woman.
There was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was all just guys. And
no,
then,
I think there was one woman in the psychopath group
with the female fairy. So, anyways,
I think.
They get into what is the party room, essentially, and find all the criminals on the floor, presumably dead, because they performed a satanic ritual to have their souls thrown into the animatronics. And anytime somebody would try to, like construction companies or anybody would try to do anything to Willy's Wonderland, they would go and kill those people. And so they were killing children and construction workers and all of that. So they arranged a deal with the animatronics of like, we will...
Oh, pause you there too. They before they arranged a deal, the animatronics were leaving Wonderland and raiding like the
That's
town.
right.
They
were
They were terrorizing the village.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So they make the deal with the animatronics of like, we'll feed you if you leave us alone. And so that's where Nicolas Cage comes into play.
So you find out that it was not only the sheriff, but the owner of the restaurant, as well as like
the mechanic,
probably the rest of the town.
Yeah,
because
the key people that you see in that lineup when they're like making the plea deal is like the sheriff, the mechanic, and Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
So we have our wonderfully written and gone over in the course of like 3-minute backstory to the town and
the midpoint twist. 20 minutes into the movie. Yep,
exactly. So
checks out.
Now we're back at the Willy's Wonderland.
Yes.
And the kid that calls the sheriff, the chameleon comes in.
Yes,
the chameleon. I couldn't figure out if its whole like skin thing was due to the lighting or that was just like its thing.
I think that was just its thing.
Yeah, that was its thing? Okay, yeah. So the chameleon's like trying to like make a deal with this kid of like, I'm not like the others. They bully me because of my beautiful skin. Do you want to be friends? Okay. The kid was like, are you serious? Of course, you can trust me. And
never a good
he
sign.
Gets out of the little UFO pod thing, and the chameleon wraps its tongue around his neck and snaps it.
Sidebar, you never have to tell someone that they can trust you.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they can trust you, they can trust you.
Right. Never, if somebody says, you can trust me, I'm going to not trust them.
Yeah, go ahead and just avoid them.
Especially, aside from just somebody telling you that, a demonic, demonically possessed chameleon
check out
animatronic.
The context of the situation.
Like, read the room, bro.
Read the room, yeah.
Like, these things were killing everybody. but it wants to make a deal with you.
Yeah, just you.
Just you. Yeah, no, you're not special, dude. I don't even remember your name.
Yeah.
I remember he was blonde, but that was about it.
Yeah, I remember none of the characters.
So, the little trope that I was not expecting, but also not surprised, was when one of the friends and the hot girl go into the special party room. And you get that one weird, awkward sex scene that every B horror movie needs to have.
Yep.
And it was very lazily written. And then the alligator is like watching them. That was weird.
It was like literally like word for word, like the same scene we've seen in other movies. It was sex. Babe, what's that weird thing?
Oh, come on, baby, don't stop.
Don't worry about it. Sex. Wait, I think it moved. You're imagining things. Sex, dead.
Yeah! It's fantastic. So they died to the hands of the alligator. I love the way that Nicolas Cage killed the alligator, though.
Did he did
the spread its jaw open.
Pretty badass for an alligator fight.
That is. I mean, the only time I've seen
That's
that
the
actually
only way to
take
do
place
it, really.
in a movie, I think it was in an old like King Kong film.
I remember it.
Yeah. So I think at this point, the way that Nicolas Cage always makes sure to take his break.
Yeah.
He's helping that main girl fight the chameleon and not die, and his alarm goes off. And he just goes, break time.
Yep.
Hands her a knife and see you later.
Yeah.
And so she's like struggling, and then of course he comes back with a hose.
Yeah.
And like lassos the thing by its neck, strangles it, and then does he snap its neck? Or just strangles it to death?
Okay, they lead you to believe he strangled it to death.
Okay. Did it come back?
Yes, it did.
I don't remember it coming back.
It came back and... We'll get there.
So many of the animatronics came back.
And it goes without saying the chameleon killed the kid that it was promising that it could trust.
Yeah, I already mentioned that.
Let's move on from that. Okay, so yeah. Nick Cage walks into the room where the alligator's there, kills him.
Yep.
Then finds the chameleon kid, dead already. Pieces out because his watch buzzes. And then from there...
So we did forget the first fairy fight when the kids were all split up throughout the pizzeria. The main girl, she's in the little fairies forest thing. And there's that mini fight and she survives.
Yeah.
Then all this other stuff. So we kind of left that out, but that wasn't much of anything.
The fairy can like gymnastics her way around.
And like spider crawls up the walls and everything. Oh, I think my favorite line in the movie is when they were talking about the animatronics doing weird stuff. They were like, and the animatronics are saying weird things out of character. And it shows that little chubby kid like going to reach for the fairy's boobs. And she just goes, "You want a fatty?" Well, because she's like, whoa, you know? But anyway, so at this point, I think we're safe to say that I think the shares have made it to the pizzeria.
Yeah. And
I think that's where we should cut it off.
I agree.
So real quickly, let's go ahead. Keep in mind the very end in the spoiler cast, the cross spoiler media platform cast.
I gotta do it twice.
So that's going to be...
I'm charging by the edit now.
For every letter on the screen is going to... so that's going to be uploaded immediately. So if you're listening or watching to this right now, it's already uploaded. So you don't have to wait. You can just go on if you want to listen to the end. How this movie wraps up with its nice little car-shaped bow.
Should I save all my shit talking for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
we're going to do a little bit more.
Because it involves the end. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So real quickly, let's knock out, speaking of car-shaped bows, our recommendations. So, Courtney, you want to go ahead and throw yours out there?
Yes. So, this is already like fully out. It finished back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I recently went back to it. But I was rewatching Voltron. Legendary Defenders. It's the remake of the original Voltron. It's the one that's on Netflix right now.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend it. It's really funny. I wasn't sure about it at first, but like honestly, I was like, I like the writing and the animation and like all the characters. Like what was it? Personalities and all that stuff. Like and all the other characters they bring in too. It was really good. Honestly.
Okay.
I really enjoyed. They did some weird stuff in the seasons with the episodes, but it's all out now, so I don't have to like worry about it, like waiting and all that stuff.
I struggled with the animation for that show because wasn't it like that weird kind of like CG style thing, or was it full? Was it traditional anime?
I want to say it was like 3D, but with a like made to look 2-dimensional.
Okay.
No,
I could be wrong. I've only seen one.
It's been a long time. I think it was the animation that caught me up.
Oh, I was like the only 3D thing that they did was when the Voltron is forming.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
That was like the only like 3D animation.
Okay,
like everything else was like animated.
Nice. And where can you watch it?
Netflix.
Woo!
It's all on Netflix.
Awesome, Jordan.
Yeah. While you're on Netflix, stay there because Community is there.
Alright, what's that about?
So I'll just preface this by saying it's an older show.
Yeah.
I want to say it started in 2008.
Okay.
So it only ran 5-6 seasons.
Okay. That's a solid show.
It was a solid chunk, but it's long done.
Yeah.
It's done for. But it's like a modern classic and not a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, I've not watched Community.
It aside from like 30 Rock, it pioneered like meta comedy.
Oh,
interesting. It was like one of the first shows to be like, hey, it's a show,
Right.
It's just about a community college and, a bunch of lovable misfits that get together and, study together or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got some firepower as far as acting goes.
Nice.
Chevy Chase, like, returned from his career hiatus to be on this show.
Oh, interesting. Okay, awesome.
It was one of Alison Brie's first roles.
Okay.
Donald Glover, Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
That gave him his start,
Wow.
It's got some big names in it, but you should really watch it. It's a solid show.
Nice.
For like 3 seasons, and then it's okay. And then it stays okay, but it's still good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So, after you've watched Voltron, and then you've watched Community, stay on Netflix, because I'm going to recommend, we brought it up earlier, The Umbrella Academy. The story for season 3 is pretty convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
But just like season 2 was pretty season 1 was pretty tame. Season 2 goes all over the frickin' place. Season 3 kind of does that, but it's still like believable.
Okay.
And it flows really well. There are a couple of characters. We'll save it for the next podcast. There are a couple of characters that I do have issues with, both writing and also just the acting.
Oh, okay.
But all in all, the way, I don't know how much of the story you guys know. Like, do you remember how season 2 left off?
Yeah.
So they dive into that other team of like, who the hell are these people in the house? So that was pretty well done. So yeah, all in all, so we got Voltron on Netflix, Community on Netflix, and The Umbrella Academy season 3 also on Netflix. Wonderful. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening and or watching the Cross Platform Media podcast. Until next time, we'll see you guys very soon. Bye.